All right, so really more so than ever before, I wasn't happy with my approach to that model. I think doing moves in aligns is really not best practice. Things shouldn't be so wiggly. And so I'm gonna try and do this again. It's the first time I've ever redone a model and recorded it because I want to make sure that I'm doing things the right way. So I did watch another video, and you know, one of my biggest takeaways was I really should be using the origin. I really shouldn't be afraid of figuring out how to sketch something sort of offset from center and then just using this middle origin um, to do the mirroring. And so what I'm going to try and do is two different main changes as part of my new approach. The first one is get a master sketch going of the tube so I don't have to redo that X number of times. And the second is really, again, taking advantage of the origin and mirroring as much as possible so that I'm not having to do the move align silliness. Now, when we get to the very top where I have to do this this middle one, it'll be a lot easier because I can just extrude a master sketch symmetrically the distance of 50 from the origin, or 25 symmetric from the origin, and the math will just be kind of figured out magically. So how do you go about doing this offset from the origin? I'm going to follow basically the same exact order, but I'm not going to have the leg start on the origin. I'm going to have the leg start offset from the origin as it would if it were going straight through the center of the table. So where should that first leg live? Well, if this is 43 and 14, we know that it's 7 down, or 7 down from the x-axis, and it's, what is that, 21 and a half on the y-axis, 21 and a half negative on the y-axis. So how do we do that? We can create our square. Oh, we gotta fix our units. So we can create our square 3 by 3. And then we can do some dimensions to set that offset from the origin. So again, this is 43 wide. In fact, I gotta fix that already. So I'll use the other side. I'll use this. If it's 43 wide, we need this to be 43 divided by 2 to the left, negative. There we go. And similarly, this is 14, so I'll take this edge and the origin, set that to 14 divided by 2. Here we go. Now I've got my leg basically, the leg here offset from the origin perfectly. So now when it comes to mirroring everything across, you know, both the X and the Y, I'm set. Just that little extra work up front will save a lot of time down the road. So let's see that coming to fruition here. So I'll go ahead and do these guys. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, perfect. And then we'll do another offset. There's got to be a faster way of doing this, but you know, maybe that's another video. And then we'll do minus 0.25, minus 0.25. Okay, and now I've got a sketch here. I almost want to copy it and paste. Nope. I need to figure out how to create a copy of this sketch before I go and extrude it. So how do we do that? This is a first for me. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can just go back into this sketch and copy it later down the road. And if I can't, we'll back up and figure it out. But there we go. I've got my first leg. I'm gonna extrude it up the height of the table leg, which is 9. So let's do that. 9 inches. Okay, great. So now the beauty of doing it around the origin is now I can simply just mirror this guy. So mirror, we'll select our mirror plane of this, and then we'll just do a new body, and voila, that was super easy. And then we can mirror both of these across the other plane. Voila, boom, we've got our legs. Now here's where I'm going to try and be a little sneakier. So we still need to do the piece across. So I want to be able to basically say, let's go into sketch. Let's copy this. Okay. Then let's go into here. Oops. Nope. Let's get rid of that sketch. Let's go into here, and now can I just paste? Okay. Hey, that saves a lot of time. So let's go ahead and can move that up, and then I'll use something to, by coincident, this to this, and then coincident this and this. I think that's fully constrained. Nope, I don't know why there was a copy. Let's try that again. Coincident. I'm really confused why that's happening. It's like copying it on coincident, which is very confusing, but let's coincident this to this. Okay, and then we can extrude this, the distance, and we can actually say now to object, boom. That's really nice. And I think I joined that up, which I don't want to do. I'm going to do a new body. Okay. Probably what I should have done is not mirrored those right off the bat. In fact, I'll just delete that. And that way we can just mirror this whole thing across this plane. And then we've got our legs done. So same pattern. If I go here, I'm going to copy this. Maybe I can, yeah, I'll copy that. Exit this sketch. And then on this center plane, we'll create a new sketch. We'll paste. And then we'll coincident this right here with right here. And if we extrude this, two sides. We'll do symmetrical. Theoretically, we should do two sides, but it's fine. Maybe I should just do two sides because I think that'll give me the opportunity to Here we go. To object. This is the first side. And so I'm going to say this, and then to object, and we're going to say this. Good. And then we just need to mirror this. We did another join. I'm wondering if I want that to be the default behavior. But, so then we'll mirror this guy. We'll use our plane here. That's done. Okay, and then last, let's go back. Add sketch, let's copy that. Let's do a new sketch. We're going to do it on this plane, paste it. Oops. And we are going to this is the tricky part. I want this and this to be vertically aligned, but there's no way to do that. I'm still trying to figure out how to easily center things like this that don't have a midpoint. Really frustrating that there's not an easier way to do that. I mean, at the very least, we can coincident this to this top line, and then I'll do something similar. I'll do a dimension here to the origin. No, that's not what I want either. How did I do this last time? I don't know. I'm running out of ideas here. Oh, my wife's arriving. I gotta pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. It's a little later in the day, but I haven't moved my screen at all. So I was trying to center this dang sketch with the origin. Why is this so hard for me? I don't understand. I mean, the way I did it before was I just basically created 2 dimensions. Or not dimensions, sorry. I made 2 construction lines from I guess from here to here, and from here to here, and then I set these equal to each other, and that gave me a center. I really don't like that approach, but you know, we made some improvements on this second go around, so we'll be happy with that. And we're gonna do 2-sided, first side to object. Well, actually not to object. We're going to do it distance. Sorry. Symmetric for a distance of 50. Oh no. What did I get wrong there? Full length. There we go. All right, and this is another part where I feel like I just sort of didn't really quite understand how I had arrived at. Let me unjoin that. How I had arrived at 10 inches, I think was the distance. So I'm gonna do a pattern again along a path. It's a great path. And we'll do symmetric. And there's 5 of them. So I don't fully understand why that's going all crazy. I don't understand is the distance part. We want to do a pattern to an object. That would be ideal. Because we know this is 10. That's what worked last time. But we did spacing. Yeah, it was 10. That's the right answer there, but I don't think that that is necessarily, that was sort of just dumb luck, right? Oh, extent. So distributes pattern instance evenly along the full extent of the distance value that you specify. Okay, well we know that this thing is 15 long, so if I chose 15, but it's the center, right? So you have to do minus 2 times 3 divided by 2. So I'm saying these things are 3 wide, so that's half of the distance from the center is 1.5. Maybe the 2 is where I'm getting wrong. No. 2 times 3.5. What is start point? All right, let's make this easier for ourselves. Let's do one direction. Specify the percentage value to offset the first pattern instance from the start point. Drag the start point along the path to reposition it. And we were saying 0.5? I don't know what this, I don't get it. I really don't get it. It shouldn't be that hard though. Maybe we try rectangular pattern. I mean, I'm just basically doing what well, that's interesting. Why is it 6 inches? It's 14. I don't know. I had to come back to this one. I mean, that's the answer right there. It's clearly lined up well. But yeah. Oh, look at that timer still going. All right, let's go ahead and. Oh, I didn't even create my component. See, I'm really. What am I doing here? Create component from bodies. Oh no. Oh no. Oh Lord. Let's create a component, and then maybe I can move all of these into that component. Okay. Yes. And then for physical material, we'll do that again. And then it should have the same weight. 4529.204 divided by 16. So really happy with the new technique around sort of using the axis to your advantage for the mirroring. Still can't figure out how to pattern to an object. I guess that wouldn't even make sense to an object. I'm gonna try something else. We're gonna back it up. We're gonna back it up. Two distance doesn't make sense. It has to be in relation to itself, the spacing. So let's try this one more time. Pattern this along a path, and the spacing is what we care about. And if we do 0.5, I'm not sure I understand spacing. Oh, look at that. Okay. A start point of 0 with spacing 3. I still don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm using I can use an axis as a path too, right? No. But for some reason doing 0 with 3 did the trick before. It's not doing it this time. Looks like that wants to be 6 now. I don't know. I'll have to do some research. All right, I'm gonna end it there. This one's already kind of long. See ya.